Hello there, this video explains how to check the engine coolant level on a Skoda Octavia Mk2, and that's important. Why? Because if there isn't enough coolant, the engine might overheat, break down and in the most extreme case sustain a lot of damage. That's not good. I'll also show you how to top up the coolant if required, how to find out what type of coolant suits your car and what to do in an emergency if you can't find any. Welcome to Car Spy TV. Right, here's the information you need. To check the engine coolant level in a Skoda Octavia Mk2, first ensure the engine is stone cold. If it isn't, you might get a false reading. So, leave the engine switched off for some time beforehand. Now, open the bonnet and find the dome-shaped reservoir that contains coolant. It's here, towards the right of the engine bay, as you can see on this car that I've borrowed from its owner. Shh, don't tell him. Note too that the reservoir has the minimum and maximum marks here on its side. To take a reading, peer through the reservoir, which is slightly transparent, and check the level of the coolant relative to these markers. As you can see, this car is slightly above the maximum. In contrast, if the level on your car is below minimum, top up the reservoir. Be careful though, it's very important to only add the correct type of coolant as specified on the reservoir itself. As you can see, the car I have here requires G12. If you haven't got the correct type of coolant, don't add any alternative. In fact, in this scenario, it's better to add water. That's Skoda's advice. However, whereas adding water might get you home in an emergency, it's only a short-term solution as it dilutes your coolant and compromises its performance. So, if you have to add water, it might then be sensible to drain the entire system and completely refill it with the correct type of coolant. To top up the reservoir, ensure the engine is stone cold, then remove this cap by twisting it anti-clockwise. It can take a while to get the cap off as it's got a long thread. Now, add coolant until the level is between the minimum and maximum markers, then replace the cap by twisting it clockwise until you hear a loud click. Okay, we have a couple of final points to consider. The Skoda Octavia Mk2 I've used in this video, and perhaps yours as well, has a warning light on the dashboard in case the engine coolant level gets very low. However, Skoda says it's still sensible to manually inspect the reservoir. I agree. Finally, whereas it's important to check the coolant level while the engine's cold if you want an accurate reading, you might just happen to glance in its direction while the engine's hot. If so, don't panic if the level is slightly above the maximum mark. That's considered normal behaviour. And that's it, job done. We've checked the engine coolant level on a Skoda Octavia Mk2. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ask any questions and have your say by the comments section, and do me a favour and click like on this video. Right, that's all for now. I suppose I should give this car back to its owner. Or shall I just keep it? Bye!